Well, hello! And I guess if you're here, welcome back! So today I wanted to make a short video. I'm not at home this weekend, so I don't have enough time to go riding and do a long video. So today I wanted to talk about something that, being in Spain, living in Spain, is a bit of a controversial theme. So stay put. So this controversial theme is the intercommunicators for motorcycle helmets. First things first, in Spain, according to the traffic law, according to the traffic law, it is totally forbidden to ride with headphones. What it means is that intercommunicators, since in some way or other, even if like mine, you can have voice commands on them, then would need to be manipulated with your hands, thus forbidden. And well, headphones can be over ear or in ear. In the case of intercommunicators, they're over ear, and in my opinion, they would be more like loudspeakers inside of your helmet. I have heard of people being fined for using the intercommunicator, i.e. having it turned on with their music or in a phone call or something like that. Not recently, I haven't heard that, but for all the years that I've been riding, I've heard of it sometime, at least once or twice. And that's the main reason why I had never used an intercommunicator. I didn't want to be stopped or fined, but I did feel the lack of not wearing them. Come off it. You're on the motorcycle and you want to listen to your GPS? How the hell are you going to do it? You get a phone call in your car and you can answer it with your hands-free. Why can't we do that on a motorcycle? Well, you need to add these contraptions to the motorcycle helmet so as to be able to do it. And here is where Spanish law comes into play. They forbid you of being with your headphones on a motorcycle and manipulating something with your hands, such as next song, previous song, answer a phone call, etc. But for me, since I've been using them, it's been a lifesaver. I went to Norway on a motorcycle. For the first time in my life, I left the country. I was gone for nearly 2 months on the motorcycle. And man, I can tell you that after 10 hours ride, you get bored of that lovely motor. Doesn't matter how good your exhaust pipes sound, it doesn't matter. The rumbling noise, the wind noise, all that is just impossible to bear after a couple of hours. And most importantly, when there's an important thing that your GPS is telling you, you can't hear it. So you need to be looking at the GPS all the time, which for me would be considered something similar to being distracted, because you're paying attention to your phone and not the motorcycle nor the road. I went to Czech Republic back in 2017, and I had found a small offer, an Interphone Sport, and I bought it because I was fed up of not being able to listen to music while I was riding. I wasn't able to answer the phone when I needed to. My boss could call me right now, and I would have to stop on the side of the road to answer, or ring him back as soon as possible. When, if I was driving a car, I could answer any second. Or I can ring someone telling them that I'm arriving to my destination. Dude, come on. But I bought it mainly to be able to listen to music. I like long hour rides. So having music was perfect. So I got this, blah blah blah. It worked marvelously. For the first time, I could listen to music, I could answer phone calls, I could listen to my GPS, etc, etc. And then my partner came along and I bought her a simple one, just because it was cheap, and we were able to communicate. She was scared of motorcycles, so I had to be able to talk to her, to give her indications, because she couldn't see anything while she was riding in the back. So any small break or any sudden turn or any movement that I did which she wasn't anticipating, she freaked out. With the intercommunicator, it made everything more easy. But then we went to Czech Republic on the motorcycle, and I decided to upgrade mine to an Interphone Tour, because that one could share music. I could be listening to music or talk to her, and I could share the music to her, so that she didn't have to fiddle around with all that stuff herself. And it was fantastic. We went to Scotland, we did the same thing, but we were missing something. And I found the Interphone Avant, which is the one that we currently have, which can share music while you're talking with the passenger or the other interphones. And that is just incredible. I can do a full review on the Tour, the Sport, the Avant, although I don't have the Sport or the Tour anymore, but I can do a small comparison if you want. So let me know in the comments down below if you want a review, because this isn't a review. This is just me letting the world know that in Spain they should change that. Being safe on a motorcycle, being able to communicate without having to turn your head around, shout at the passenger, or do gestures and distract other drivers or distract yourself and risk having an accident just because you can't tell the buddy that's riding behind you that you're getting off at the next exit. Although there's sign language, it's dangerous nevertheless. Being able to talk with a passenger, just like if you were in a car, being able to listen to music so that you don't drowse off and just fall asleep and crash, so that you don't have to be looking at your GPS to know where you're going and the GPS just tells you where to go. All that sort of thing. It's technology. It's all advancing. We should be able to go with the technology that makes us go safer. Make them so that they are voice activated or voice controlled, which this one is, despite that I use it with my hands, because I hate voice commands. Because it just interrupts whatever I'm doing every time I cough, or every time I sneeze, or every time I start talking to someone on a traffic light or whatever, you know? Anytime that there's a sound inside my helmet, it thinks that I'm trying to do something, or it stops my music, or Siri activates, all that sort of thing. I find it of the utmost importance to be able to communicate yourself, and especially going with someone that doesn't know where they're going or isn't too sure on the motorcycle, like on my previous video where I taught a noob how to ride. If you can't have a communication with them, then it's kind of pointless. Come off it. When you take your driving license in Spain for the motorcycle, you wear a communicator in your helmet so as to be able to talk to the teacher while you're learning, and be able to talk to the instructor, the examiner, when you're doing your test. If there it's allowed and you're a noob, why the hell can't you have it when you're not taking your exam? It's the hands-free. It's like if they stopped you driving a car while listening to music or the GPS from your car, or answering a phone call while you're driving your car with your hands free. It's dumb. Come off it. I would never have thought, when I first wanted to listen to music, that an intercommunicator would be illegal. And I admit that the first time that I listened to music on the motorcycle was when I was 15, riding my scooter to school with my headphones. But I remember that I did that. And it was a fuss. It was a fuss to put the headphones on and the helmet and all that, you know. I would have loved to have an intercommunicator back then, to just be able to listen to music whilst going to school, whilst going to work. I've only had an intercommunicator for 3 years and a half, and I can tell you that it's one of the best decisions, technology-wise, that I made with a motorcycle. And every person that I meet and is new in motorcycle riding, I recommend very highly for them to do the same thing, to buy an intercommunicator and put it inside their helmet, even if they're going solo. If they're going 2-up, even more. There's plenty of cheap options in the market if you just want to listen to music, or the GPS, or the phone. And there's very expensive versions with all the bells and whistles and all that stuff, you know. And that's up to you. But what should not be illegal is having an intercommunicator on the motorcycle plugged onto your helmet. Because I've heard cases, people being fined for only having it on the helmet, not even turned on. Not even using it. That's even more ridiculous. Anyway, those were my thoughts about intercommunicators. And if you're new here, I know I've got very little content, but you like what you see on my channel, give me a thumbs up on the video. One like that, give me a thumbs up. And subscribe. It helps. I'm only starting. If there's no one out there listening, if there's no one out there interested, at the end of the day, I'll feel that it's not worth it. So, if you like what you see, give a thumbs up to the video, subscribe to my channel, give me your opinions on intercommunicators if you want, check my other videos that you'll be able to see in my channel. And thank you if you lasted until the end. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much that means for me right now. See ya.